Which way, Western man? Taco Bell or Taco Casa? Tacos or hot dogs? Which way, Western man? Says a lot about you, which one you choose. Whataburger or In-N-Out? Which way? There are correct answers to this. There is a correct answer to that question. And the people who say Whataburger are just childish. Like they are just not fully developed yet people, I don't think. Like their brains aren't fully developed, and so that's why they go, ooh, yay, Whataburger. Whataburger's better, They don't enjoy the classic simplicity of just a well-crafted, high-quality burger, Just simply done right. No fancies, no frills, no sourdough buns, no pepper jack cheese, and all those gross toppings and sauces and stuff. Flavor, different weird flavored shakes and stuff. Yeah, that's all for children, man. That's all for the kids. Save it for the birds. Save it for the kids. Let the kids have their fun. Take the kids to Whataburger and let them all scream with joy as they eat their Dr. Pepper flavored milkshakes. And they're like, whatever, bacon, pepper jack cheeseburgers, with the buns that are so big. It's just like all they're doing is filling you up on bread, not giving you actual burger, But the real men go to In-N-Out. The real men go to In-N-Out and they say, this is correct. This is nice. Fresh, actually fresh cut, fresh cooked French fries, an actual beef burger that's not full of microplastics and soy, an actual bun that's actual bread, actual lettuce, actual tomatoes. Or you can go to Whataburger and get a Happy Meal, get a kid's meal with a goofy shake and some goofy stuff, because you like your fries a little crispier or something. Which way, Western man? Which way? We'll get into that. Well, stay tuned. We're gonna get into that. In-N-Out is for the fellas. It's just simply for the fellas, And it is funny in Texas. It's like every single In-N-Out, no matter what, without question, there is a Whataburger within like a block. Either next door to it or like just down the street, like a block, no more than 2 blocks. And I was wondering, I'm like, dude, they're just so jealous. Like they're just so threatened. Whataburger is so threatened that whenever an In-N-Out shows up, it's like they have to put it. They just can't stand it. They just can't see it having success. The lines out the door, the lines in the parking lot, just snaking through parking lots into other adjacent parking lots because people are just like, yeah, this is real food. This is like a real milkshake and a real burger and real fries. I want that. I want the real thing. And then you go to Whataburger in Texas and it's just like, you could just go right up to the menu and order. It's just fast food. It's like McDonald's. It's faster than McDonald's. Just drive up, order at the menu, just drive on through. It's because like, yeah, no, only children want it. Only crying babies annoying their parents are the ones that are like actually getting in the line to order Whataburger. And I'm driving through Texas. We'll get into that in a second. We're driving through Texas, but I stop at a Buc-ee's and just shocked, like hit, like jarred. Like I had to start asking questions like, is this real? Is this Buc-ee's? Is this like a spinoff or something? I was shocked at how small they were. Now saying that about Buc-ee's is an oxymoron, but compared to like the SEC states, like compared to the Buc-ee's I've been to in like Alabama and Georgia and Tennessee, I went to like 2 different Buc-ee's in Texas and they were smaller. And I just was like, I almost had a heart attack. I was like, I've been told my whole life that everything's bigger in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. Everything's better in Texas. And then the one thing they all take pride in is Buc-ee's. They like love to be like, Buc-ee's is our thing. You guys should all be grateful to like experience a sliver of heaven. You should be grateful that we allowed you guys to build a sliver of heaven called Buc-ee's in your own state, you peasants. That is the vibe I get. And then I go and it's like smaller. It's like smaller. The bathrooms are smaller. There's far less gas pumps. And I just got to wonder, man, is everything bigger in Texas? Or are you guys just liars? Or are you just liars? Because no, the Buc-ee's were not bigger in Texas. I don't have a problem with that. It's just funny. It was just unexpected, But we're driving around Texas for a bit, for about 2 whole weeks, exploring, seeing some sights, seeing some sounds, meeting some people, checking out all the cities, college campuses. It was a pleasant little time. I could see myself living there, man. It was a nice little place. But this is just the running theme of this episode, though, is like East Texas versus West Texas. It was such night and day, like a different experience for me. Like I'm driving through West Texas, and I'm in Lubbock. I'm making my way down to like, San Marcos, Austin area. And I'm driving through the middle of nowhere in these like small West Texas towns. It was like, I get it. I understand now. Like I get why people enjoy Texas. My friends, my annoying Texas friends, my whole life have made me just like despise Texas. Not really, but just like roll my eyes annoyed. Like, okay, we get it. Everything's bigger. Okay, we get it. The food's better. Okay, we get it. Like football's better. Like it's just like I feel like that's the vibe. Just like, dude, shut up already. You know what I'm talking about. If you're not from Texas and you have a Texas friend, it's like that is your vibe. It's like knees buckle, eyes roll. You just kind of lose like, again. I got to hear about how great HEB is and how crappy our Kroger is or whatever. Again, got to hear about the Buc-ee's. So I finally make it out to Texas, and the whole time I'm kind of like, I want the food to not taste good. I want things to be not cool. I want people to be not nice. Like I want it to be the thing that I hate. I want it to be the opposite of these people who are so smug and braggadocious about like Texas is the best. And I want to be like, no, it's not. No, you're wrong. No, it's not. And one by one, not everything, but slowly but surely, as I'm making my way through West Texas, and I start to visit the cities and talk to people, I'm kind of like, okay, I get it. All right, I might be wrong about some things. I might be wrong here about some things, guys. I think the food is better. I think the Mexican food is better in El Paso. Like, I think the brisket is better in Austin. Tacos are pretty good in Dallas, All right, another take. just another take. My phone was just over there getting, now the wind picked up, and now all of a sudden the rain is hitting my phone. Great. One more weather break, one more delay. Had my phone set up over there, and of course now all of a sudden after I set everything up and recording for a little bit, the wind wants to pick up and blow water just on my phone. Great. Can we catch a break? Is this God or is this Satan telling me not to record this episode? Like, Lord, if it's you, let it definitively be no. And if it's not, Lord, let me finish this episode, please. Let me get this over with. I want to be on my merry way. But we're talking about West Texas. I'm driving through these small West Texas towns, like perfect weather, perfect breeze, beautiful sunsets, these like small little ranches, cattle off in the distance, mountains off in the distance, but rolling hills, stopping in these small little towns. Everyone's just so nice and friendly. It's like men are men, women are women. There's like kids everywhere. They're happy. They're playing around. Stopped in this little town, Fredericksburg. It was immaculate. It was the cutest, adorable Christmas lights still on. I stop and like go into a convenience store. It's like actually diverse, and like even the black people were like polite and friendly and nice. It was just everything about it was so like, I get it now. This place is good. Like I was wrong. This place is actually awesome. Like this might be the best place this side of heaven. Is like small West Texas towns, And part of it was a little bit like I was on edge, man. It was a thrill. It was a rush. Just driving, middle of nowhere at night in Texas, because I don't know if you know this, but the state bird of Texas is deer. Like, is about like yay high. For some reason, they're like smaller than all the other deer in America, but like, about like waist high deer. There's just infinity of them. I don't know who's not hunting them or why they're not being killed or whatever, like population controlled, but like, come on, West Texas. I mean, I'm just driving down the road and it's just pairs of glowing eyes just staring at me standing on the side of the road. And I didn't get one. I didn't hit one, thankfully. I didn't even get one that was even close, but just the whole drive was me just on edge, gripping that steering wheel, just like on the defense the whole time. Not even from bad drivers. That's typically what I do around bad drivers. That's typically how I am in like big cities where I'm like, oh, there's a bunch of Asians and Indians and women on the road. I got to be on the defensive. This was like no cars on the road, but it's like at any second I could just slam into a deer because there's like 5,000 of them in the square mile around my car right now, you know? It was so crazy, dude. It was a sandstorm of deer. It was like literally like a sandstorm, like I could not escape it if I tried, of just me driving down any road. There was just deer lining it, waiting to be hit, you know? So I was kind of on edge. I was like on this like weird little like, I just gotta get to the city. It was like, I really just was like thankful to enter into the next town. Because I was like, oh gosh, okay, ooh, can let my guard down. I'm not gonna get, you know, shocked and slapped by a deer running across the street, you know? So that was interesting, but I'm having that vibe, and I pull into Fredericksburg, and there's like this sense of relief where I'm just like, dude, a city, finally. But actually, this city was like heaven. If I go missing someday, and you're like, man, I wonder where Sean went up, like packed up and moved to. Haven't heard from that guy in a while. Check Fredericksburg, Texas. I'm probably there. I'm probably kicking it there. You know, it was awesome, just in every way. It's these string of like small towns, and you're going from small town to small town to small town, and each little town has like their little, in their own unique way, their state championship banner, their state championship trophy, which is like the centerpiece of town. You know, it's either like a statue in a roundabout in the middle of the town, or it's like as soon as you enter, it's like this enormous giant sign. There was one town, it had this huge metal, like a welcome to the city sign, you know, huge. And it was like lit up, you know, they had like actual landscape lighting it up. And it was like state champs, class 2A or class 1A or 2A. It was like a really low class, you know, state champs. And it was like 2001. And I'm mad I forgot the city, but I just, that image is seared into my mind because I just lingered on it for so long. Like, yeah, you always hear about Texas cares about football. They take football seriously, etc. You know, best Texas, best football, blah, blah, blah. You know Texans. They're like, we're the best. And you roll your eyes. You're like, okay, yeah, we've heard that before. But it just is crazy how much they do care about it. Like, it actually unites the community. It like brings these small towns together. Like, that is the community event. You know, like football or not, play football or not. It's like, it almost doesn't matter. The sport itself doesn't matter. It's like a bigger than that communal thing. It is like the community comes together. And when they win one state title one time, randomly, like some small town, small class state title 25 years ago, still the town is like, we did that. Like, we are a part of that. That was like the greatest thing that happened to us, was that team. And you know, they're all telling stories. You know, all those kids on that team are like heroes in that town. People still to this day tell stories about, remember that one game, that one fumble, that one field goal or something? And you can be like, oh yeah, that's stupid, that's pathetic. It's like, oh, everyone cares about sports ball. I get it. Like, there's like valid criticisms of people like wasting their time and energy on sports. But it's also pretty awesome that the community can like still find something to unite together with. There's like still a sense of tribe. There's still a sense of like, my family and your family are bonded by something that's not blood. Like, we come together and we are like on the same team with the same mission, the same purpose, and we're fighting against the same common enemy together. And it just literally stops being about the sports ball. It stops being about the points on the scoreboard, and it starts being like, this is my tribe. Like, we are in a fight. This is my tribe against them. And we need to do what it takes to like win, to not get conquered, to not get defeated, you know? It's cool. And I like that like pride. Like, even 25 years later, they're still just like, those are my boys. Those are my guys. That's my family. I will die for them. It's just like some high school kids that like had a good run one year. And the whole town's like, I will die for them. I will lay down my life for him. There's just something about that that's cool. We're missing that in America. We're just missing too much of that in this country, in America, you know? So it's awesome to still see that it's like alive and kicking around, you know? Because Americana is dying. I mean, the image we have of like what made America great is for real dying. We're not going to make America great again, by the way. It's just not going to happen. No one's taking it seriously. The guy who was supposed to take it seriously just didn't and actually did the opposite and made America worse. So like no one else is really putting their foot down or doing the hard work it takes to keep America great or to remake it great again, you know? We're just like letting everyone in. We're just like giving away our kids' inheritance to casinos and bad investments and flippant spending, you know? We're just like handing over our country to like foreigners and bankers and corporations, you know? Calling it a good thing. Saying I lived well, who cares? I'm going to be dead in 10 years and just waste all of my money, waste and throw away what America was, that Americana concept, and just indulge it, experience it, and just like throw it away. Because after me, who cares if it goes away? I want to experience it. And after I'm gone, who cares if it's not here anymore? And then you just have entire generations of like young men. You have young Randys out there in Texas who are just inheriting like nothing. They're inheriting a state that's just overrun with Indians. Like Texas is just going to be little India in 20 years. 2 decades from now, 1 or 2 generations from now. It's so crazy. It's so jarring as an outsider, like going to Texas for the first time and just being like, what is happening? And I think people in Texas don't know what's happening. It's like a slow burn. It's like the frog slowly being cooked, you know? It's like they don't realize what's happening. They don't see it. But an outsider comes in and is like, dude, why is there Indians everywhere? And not the good kind. I know what you're thinking. Not the cool kind. Not like the, hey, they were here first kind. You know, the feather kind. We make sick clothes and like have cool like war chants kind. That would be cool. That would actually be pretty sick. If they were like reconquering Texas, okay, I could see it. It's not going to happen, but okay, cool, acceptable. I'm talking about the bad kind. I'm talking about the people coming here that are not Christian. They don't speak our language. They don't hold our values. They like throw trash around. They don't know how to use bathrooms properly. Like they have an unhealthy obsession with like feces and trash and stuff. It just is like bad. We're not going to get into all that today. We're not trashing on Indians on purpose. The point I'm trying to make is that like they don't belong in Texas. You know, Texas is just like it was built and forged and made by like white men and Spaniards. It was like Europeans came to Texas and made it awesome and great. Like one of the great states. It could probably be one of the best nations if it was actually still its own nation, you know? And now they're just like handing over the keys to a bunch of Indians who like don't speak the language, don't share the religion, don't look like the people, the population at all. They're not Spanish, they're not mestizo, they're not Anglo, they're not, you know, any kind of white, any kind of black, any kind of brown. They're like other continent foreigner, weird brown. They just, again, I'm not trying to trash on them. It just is like simply the fact that they don't belong there. You know? Does that sound mean? Am I being mean? It's just they're just too different. They're too different and they're too unwilling to change. You stop at their gas stations that they own. You stop at the corporations they own because, by the way, they own all of them. I don't know if you're paying attention, Texas, but these people are taking over your real estate and they're taking over your businesses. Like, where are your kids going to work in 10 years when all the jobs are just reserved for Indians? But you go to these places, the hotels are trashy, they're dirty, they're smelly. Like, they don't care about the things we care about. They're not clean people. They're not tidy people. They're not considerate of others' people. Like, they are a very selfish, very short-minded, like a short time span-minded people where they just throw their trash in a river because they can't understand or comprehend or care enough about the consequences of what happens when that trash stays in the river or flows downstream. Who might that affect? Me throwing trash in the river right now, who cares? Because I won't see it. I got rid of my trash. It was a good thing that I did that. Not understanding and respecting the fact that like there's other people in your community that are going to be affected negatively by that. You know? So they just don't belong in Texas. Texas is before this invasion has been happening in the last whatever X amount of time. Clearly, it was a much more like in-group, high-trust society, a hard-working mindset society, a very like literally don't mess with Texas was the phrase because they were like, we are not going to be a state where we just litter and trash our state. We're going to have a clean state. We're going to have a pretty state. Our rivers are going to stay clean. Our lakes and rivers are going to be clean. Don't mess with Texas or else face the consequences because we're serious about that here. And now I'm looking around at Texas as an outsider who's never been there before, and I'm like, oh, they messed with it. Oh, the rivers are gross. Everything's getting messed with. All the businesses are being run down and broken down and grossed up. So they're messing with Texas. I mean, and again, it just, fine, man, go do that in India. Go do that somewhere else where you belong, where you share the language, the religion, the culture, where you kind of fit in. It's like you just don't belong here. A bunch of Indians from New Delhi and Hyderabad don't belong in Austin or Dallas or Fredericksburg, And that might be why Fredericksburg is like the last awesome town in America. No Indians. It was like all white and black people. It's awesome. There were Spanish people too. White, black, and Spanish. It's like that's the perfect combination. They speak English. They're Christians. Doesn't matter what race they are, but they're like Americans. They're like, I'm a black Christian man who has an American flag on my truck. Like that's the kind of vibe, Awesome. I could live there. I would love to live there. And then you go to these cities and it's like you can't even like sleep for 6 hours in a hotel room because you check in and it's like the shower hurts. The shower pressure literally is painful. Who cares? There's just noises going off in the walls. There's buzzers going off. There's ice machines going. Why do I even have an ice machine in my room? It goes off every 30 minutes. Why do I only have one pillow? I went to a hotel room. There was one pillow on the bed, like on a queen size, king size bed where there should be like 4. It's like, did they forget to add pillows? Like they just don't care. They're not considerate. They'll do the bare minimum that they can get away with. They are scammers, So I go to this barbecue place. I'm sitting there. We're eating. I'm talking. I'm making friends with the people serving me food and sitting next to me and stuff. And there's a basketball game on. I don't watch basketball too much. I don't follow it. But when it's like on in front of my face in the background, I'm going to like watch it as I eat. It's this season. It's a 25-26 NBA basketball season. And it's the Memphis Grizzlies versus someone. I forgot. I don't even care who they were playing. It doesn't matter. But it was like the Memphis Grizzlies at home in Memphis playing against somebody. And I'm watching this game and I looked up and I was like, why are there just all these white goobers on the floor? Like I'm looking at Memphis and 4 out of the 5 players on the NBA team, Memphis Grizzlies, are like goofy, awkward white guys. It's like these tall, lanky, big guys. And it's like these like smooth, like shucking and jiving wannabe white boys that are like not quite really that. Like they're not like a Jason Kidd. They're not quite like as good as like a Steve Nash or something where it just flows. Where you're like, dude, that kid, that's a baller. Like a Stockton. You're like, yeah, he's white, but man, he can play. He can flow, There was something about that team. I sat there and watched these Memphis Grizzlies and I was like, even like the like shooters and the fast guys aren't really good. They're just like awkward. You can tell they're slow. You can tell they're like almost unconfident. Like they just don't belong. Not even just in the NBA, like on an NBA court. Like they don't belong together and they don't belong in Memphis. Dude, I don't know what y'all know about Memphis or don't know about Memphis, but like I'm going to take a wild guess here and just say I'm going to shoot a wild claim out here. And I guarantee it's correct. People are not buying the jerseys of goofy white guy goobers on the Memphis Grizzlies. No one's down on Beale Street like wearing like a Kevin Johnson jersey. Yeah, I just got my fresh new Eric Newberry jersey. He's the starting shooting guard on the Memphis Grizzlies. He's an awkward white guy that's going to be replaced in 2 years. It's like everyone can just see that and go like, that's not right. Like this shouldn't be happening. This isn't a good thing. This isn't good. This doesn't like all these goofy white guys don't belong on the NBA team from Memphis. If it was like Utah, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. Like me, maybe like a Portland. You're like, yeah, okay, yeah, goofy goober white guys on Portland's NBA team. Yeah. Memphis? Dude, Memphis. I don't know if you guys know Memphis or not. But Memphis, like all these people are like, man, I can't wait to wear my brand new Eric Newberry jersey out to Beale Street. Everyone's gonna think I'm so cool. I'm hip. I get it. I'm with the cool cats, the whole cool hip caps, and my fresh new Memphis Grizzlies jersey. It's like, dude, at the end of the day, like they just don't belong there. Like even if the team's bad, you need to just put people on that team that like the city kind of represents the city, is the city. Like I feel like 4 years ago, the Memphis Grizzlies were like dreadlocks, and they were like talking smack, and they were like starting fights, and they were like players were like flashing guns. They're like getting suspended because they cannot help themselves from just like taking out their gun and just like showing it off on TikTok Live or whatever. That's Memphis Grizzlies. Like that is who belongs on the Memphis Grizzlies. Like get those guys. Dreadlocks, Oreo black skin, they're like showing off their guns, like holding them sideways and stuff, you know what I mean? Get those people back on the Memphis Grizzlies. These like awkward, goofy, goober white guys that look straight out of like Salt Lake City, they just don't belong there. And I say all that to just say it's the same thing with the Indians. I'm sure they're nice people. I'm sure like you could be friends with them. I've met some of these people. I've talked and been nice to some of these people. They're good. I met like actually a good friend in this hotel in Lubbock. Indian young man, nice, funny. He might be a fan of my channel now. He's like going to check it out. Great guy, awesome guy. I'm like, dude, we would hang out and be best friends. But like your family and I, your friends and I, your people and Texas, it just isn't like a match. Like if I just went over with my family and just went to Delhi and just took over like the Marriott hotel chain and just started making money and like not converting to a religion, not speaking their language, not participating in their like customs or religions or rituals, and just did everything American, everything white, just kept speaking English. It's like, didn't they spend like 200 years trying to kick the English out for doing exactly that? Didn't they say like, hey, white English people, you don't belong here. Give it to us. Give it back to us. You guys don't belong here. Get out. And yeah, it took some wars and it took some violence and whatever, and the evils were done. But it's like that same concept is like, dude, hey, British people, you don't belong in Hyderabad. And hey, Indian people, you don't belong in Lubbock, Texas. It just, hate me all you want. Call me names all you want. I'm just, it's right. It's true. That rings true, So we find ourselves driving through West Texas, driving through the small towns, avoiding the sandstorm of deer, trying to not mess with the state, And I'm starting to I keep having this phrase come into my mind. It's just like, I get it. I'm starting to understand. Like the food is good. The people are nice. The state is clean. I get it. I was a hater on Texas. I was hating on Texas from afar, from a distance, as an outsider. Now I'm here. I'm living it. I'm breathing it. I'm seeing it. I'm beholding it in person. And I just kept being like, I get it. I understand it now. I'm going to move here. This is my life now. I love this. But then I went to Austin and I was like, oh, yep. Okay, I don't get it anymore. And then I went to College Station and I was like, yeah, College Station's pretty cool, pretty nice. Okay, I get it again. Okay, yeah, I get it again. And then I went back to Waco and I'm like, yeah, I kind of get it. It's cool here. I get it again. I feel like I get it. Maybe Austin was the outlier, And then I go to Dallas and I'm like, oh no, I really don't get it. I keep feeling like I'm touching the surface, like I'm scratching the surface. And then I just go to the cities of Texas and I'm like, ooh, yikes. I need to get out of here. And a big part of it was we're going to skip a bunch of stuff. We have a bunch of stuff. Again, I already recorded this episode. I don't want to keep ranting and trying to attempt to make the same jokes twice. Sorry, we're just going to miss some of the stuff that we were going to talk about. But a big thing I want to touch on is Torchies and how all my Texas friends all my Texas Christian friends in Nashville would tell me, Torchies, gotta have Torchies. Torchies is the best. Torchies is the best tacos in the world, the best food in the world. It's the best Mexican food in the world, even better than Mexico. You have to get Torchies. And my friends freaked out because they just opened one in Nashville. They just opened one like in the most inconvenient place, right in the heart of Broadway. Locals will never even be able to like really get out there to enjoy it, go to it. And everyone still freaks out. Gotta go to Torchy's. Oh my God, there's a Torchy's in Nashville. I'm freaking out over it, right? So I'm like, just like, okay, it must be good. And now on this journey, I'm starting to kind of run into like thing after thing where I'm like, maybe Texas does have really good food. Maybe I am wrong about Texas. Maybe, I keep kind of being proven wrong. I keep having that mindset of like, ooh, I do get it. I do understand now. And then I go to Torchy's and I'm like, ooh, this place is a nightmare. Not only is it like satanic pagan themed with like this weird, gross devil baby, like this weird Cupid themed devil baby is like on the cups and like on the walls and stuff. But like the food is just goy slop. It literally was just corporate slop bowls. It was like the whole, hey, we do tacos, but they're like a little weird. It's like, yeah, we do tacos, but brisket tacos. Yeah, we have, one of our tacos is like, we call it the white trash. They have like the quirky, funny names on it, It's quirky, funny name taco, and it has chicken strips in it. Isn't that weird? Isn't that quirky? Isn't that fun? And I'm like, no. Like, if I wanted chicken fingers, I would just go to Cane's, Raising Cane's. I would go to Chick-fil-A. Like, I'm here to eat tacos. And they have this overpriced goy slop corporate bowl, mush bowl of just, mystery meat, with all the toppings, just throw it in a bowl. Here you go, goy, slop it up. And I'm supposed to be blown away. I'm supposed to be like, whoa, Torchy's has the best slop bowl. I've had some great slop bowls in my life, but this right here, this satanic pagan themed corporate taco place, quirky themed taco place that's definitely just tricking and manipulating like gullible idiots into spending too much money because of the quote unquote experience they get eating at a pagan themed, satanic themed restaurant. I'm supposed to just eat it and be like, my life has now changed forever. I am now a new man because I have now experienced the Torchy's corporate goy slop bowl, the greatest one of them all. I've had them in every state. I've had them in every start to finish of my life, as a young lad, as an old man, as an old unk, as a 34-year-old old unk. I've had them all, every state, every city, every type, every flavor. But I'm supposed to go to Torchy's and be like, no, this one is different. This one's unique. This one's better than the rest. The ring to rule them all. Torchy slop bowl. So shame on you. So I bring that up to say just shame on you. I have all these Christian friends from Texas that love Torchy's. They were like, when you go to Texas, make sure you get Torchy's. Torchy's, Torchy's, Torchy's. And I didn't know I was like walking into that. I didn't know I was going to walk in and just be angry. Why am I in here? Why am I doing this? Why am I paying for this? I could just go to Chipotle. Chipotle is better and cheaper. Literally, Chipotle is better and cheaper and not satanic. So shame on you. All my friends out there. I'm not even speaking to the masses, the people, the strangers on the internet. I'm talking to my few friends that will watch this that told me, make sure you go to Torchy's. It's the best. No, no, it is not. And shame on you for telling you that. Shame on you. But we talked about, I had this giant Planet Fitness debacle where I'm pretty sure I stumbled into a weird cult. There was really no explanation for what was going on. And I'm not kidding. We'll just talk about it. No, we won't. We'll talk about it at a later stream. If you're seeing this and you're curious about, we'll say the Walmart story in New Mexico and the Planet Fitness story in Dallas, Texas, because they're both very annoying. They're both peak, hey, Sean's got some complaints. Hey, Sean's going to go on a funny rant where he's going to complain about some stuff in a funny way. Just remind me on a later stream, a later episode when I start doing live streams to bring up the Planet Fitness debacle in Dallas and the Walmart experience in Albuquerque. I don't want to repeat I just don't want to repeat a 30-minute rant about those two things. You know what I mean? And we'll just put a bow on the racist rant. Let's conclude. Let's wrap up better the racist rant that everyone's going to not like. The couple racist rants I have that everyone's going to either like or not like. Either like a lot and tell me to do more of, or like hate me and cancel me and tell me to take it down and delete the post. But we're just kind of at this point, and I know it's like a meme. This is like a meme that's being tossed around, but it is true. Say like China and Russia just started nuking American cities. Like say they nuked like the top 50 cities in America, just wiped them off the face of the map. We're at the point in our empire where we would get better. We would be stronger. We would be more cohesive. Not only would we be like fired up and jacked up and like on the defensive. I mean, if that legitimately happened, can you imagine how angry all the rednecks would be? Can you imagine the rebel yells that would start to be screamed from the country boys that are like, you gonna attack America? Oh, we'll see about that. Not only are you going to make the actual men, the actual fighters, like fired up and energized and ready to go and ready to get payback and revenge, but you'd get rid of all the mess, all the nonsense. You'd get away with just all the eaters and not the producers. Like you'd get rid of people who aren't really adding any like significant value to the empire anymore. You'd get the people who are just taking, who are looting, who are pillaging, you know? You'd kind of just get rid of them. Almost like it'd be a good thing, you know? But it's just like America couldn't possibly be invaded. Like we cannot possibly be invaded in that concept that you're thinking when I say that phrase. No one's bombing us. No one's sending ships with soldiers to invade our beaches. Like it literally can't happen. We have 2 ocean-sized moats surrounding us. And then we have giant mountains after that. And then we have deserts and enormous, huge, powerful rivers and mountains all like we have a lot of resources, a lot of wealth, a lot of stuff you'd want to take. But how are you going to possibly take it? And when you take it, how are you going to keep it? Because every American would hide in a foxhole, hide in a cave, hide in the woods, and not give up, you know? That's why that Japanese general was like, under every blade of grass is a rifle. It's like America is like trying to like cut grass. It's just like the more you cut, the more it grows back harder, faster, stronger. And for as many blades as there are of grass, there are rifles in the hands of American men. Like, you're not going to invade us. Sorry, it's not happening. But what you could do, if you wanted to end the American empire, was conquer it from within, you know? Would be like flood its cities with foreigners that don't speak the language, don't share the culture, hate America, despise America. They want revenge on America. You put people that aren't willing to work or sacrifice or do any kind of like meaningful jobs or professions or have any kind of actual skills that are actually providing value to the society they're living in. You just have a bunch of takers. You have looters. You have Somalis running scams. You have Somali pirates up in Minneapolis just like stealing people's money, taxpayers' money that should be going to like altruistic programs like daycare and feeding children and busing kids to school. And these Somalians show up and they just like steal it. What did you expect? Like, duh, dude, you imported Somali pirates and you just pretended like they wouldn't resort back to their instincts. They wouldn't just resort back to just looting and stealing. It's like, oh yeah, we're just going to bring a bunch of Nigerians in and just hope they don't scam us. Hope they don't pretend to be Nigerian princes needing wire transfers. We're just going to bring in a bunch of Indian, phone call scammers and just pretend like they're going to change, pretend like they'll fit in, pretend like it'll work itself out somehow. They bend over and poop in the streets. They throw their trash directly into rivers. They don't speak our language. They're just constantly looking for bobs and vagine. They're constantly trying to find ways of scam boomers out of like their children's inheritance money. And we just bring them in and we're like, this is cool. This is fine. Let them run all our hotels. Let them run all our restaurants. Let them run all our businesses. That's fine. It's cool. They'll figure it out. They'll blend in, right? And it's just like, no, they won't. And no, America will cease to exist. And the more you do that, the more you bring in not America, the more America will not look like America. The more that Americana utopia will just die. like the deer, like the sandstorm of deer. It'll just drift away. It'll prance away. It'll be on its merry way, never to be found again, never to be experienced again. You bring these people in, and some groups adapt. Like, there are African groups that they come here and they kiss the ground. They start getting jobs. They can't wait to work. They can't wait to start owning land and building their own house and starting a family. They want their kids to learn English and nothing but English, because they want their kids to be American. They want their kids, they themselves, and then they want their kids after them and their grandchildren after them to become American, to be America, to do American things. They are thankful for the opportunity, the gift that was given to them, that is citizenship, that is an ability to be here legally as an American. Those are the people we want. That's why I'm not really like that anti like Hispanic Central American migration. Those people come here and it's like, yeah, there's a little bit of them. They don't want to learn English. They don't want to this. They don't want to that. But for the most part, they do. For the most part, they're Christians. For the most part, they are like, they share our kind of cultural values. For the most part, they're actually more Americana, more vaquero, more cowboy rodeo culture than even us, But it's just these people from China, these people from India, these people from Africa, like, they just simply should not be here. You can call me mean or angry or hateful or whatever. Call me all the mean names you want. Point all the fingers you want. You know I'm right. You know it's true. And they just come here and they don't care. If they don't care enough to even learn the language or become American, then they're not going to care about your stuff. They're going to take what they can. What they can get away with, they will take. They will loot, they will steal, they will plunder, they will take your ornate wooden doors off of your mausoleum, and they will take it and burn it for fuel for their fire tonight. They don't care about what your grandparents did, or what your cultures or your tradition is, or what sacrifices were made by the people here in the past. The blood that has gone into the soil, into making this country great, into making this country what it is. These people show up. They don't care about any of that. They just care about, like, how am I going to be warm tonight? Oh, I'll just go take that guy's ornate wooden door off its hinges and just chop it up and burn it, because it'll help me. It'll suit my interests. I'll be warm tonight. Who cares about them? Who cares about my neighbor? Who cares about who built that, why they built it, what purpose it's serving? How many people care about it, appreciate it? Who cares? I want to be warm tonight, so I'm going to take that. And if I can get away with it, I'll do it. No one's going to stop me. No one's going to punish me. No one's going to put me in jail. No one's going to send me back to my country. I'll just keep taking. I'll just keep taking all the wooden doors off their hinges and lighting them as fuel for my fire for the night. No one's stopping me. No one's putting their foot down. And that's what's happening, is Texas is being messed with. All these people are coming into Texas. They're grabbing their remote. You know that rant. If you're like an OG football head, if you're an OG ball knower, you know what I'm about to say. That rant, that coach from that team down in Florida, they came up in your house. They kicked down the door. They kicked down your front door. They walked in your living room in your house, your mama's house. They walked in. They sat down on your couch. They grabbed your remote. They put their dirty feet up on your sofa, up on your ottoman, your coffee table, and they changed the TV. They changed the channel on your effing TV in your mama's house, and you ain't do nothing about it. That rant. That is what's happening right now. Like, these Indians are just like kicking down the door of America. They're coming in. They're grabbing our remote. They're putting their dirty feet up, all up on the sofa, just eating and throwing trash on your living room floor, changing the channel to whatever they want to watch, whatever insane Bollywood thing they want to watch is, whatever insanity they watch and dance to and sing along to. And they're just like destroying your house. They don't care about it. Who cares? Oh, it's your mom's house? So, well, I'm here right now. Well, I want to watch TV. Oh, I made a mess. Who cares? Someone will clean it up. That is like the epitome of what's happening in America right now. And specifically in Texas. It's like, out of all the states, you think Texas would be the most like gung-ho, the most like, we don't do that around here, the most, you don't mess with Texas. I kind of expected to see less of it. I expected to go to Texas and see like less it being messed with, and more like masculine, strong men like putting their foot down and saying like, no, son, we don't do that here. Son, no, you don't just come into a man's house and grab his remote. Son, You take your shoes off. You don't put your dirty shoes on all over people's furniture. You know, you leave them at the door. That's what I expected Texas, is to be like men, cowboy men, wearing their cowboy hats, being like, we don't do that around here. You can leave. You can get on and get. We don't do that stuff around these parts. This is Texas. And I went there, and it's the opposite. It's like, oh, no, I don't want to be offensive. There's a bunch of Indians here, and it's great. It's a good thing. It's making our state better. It's okay. This is totally cool. Yep. Like, don't look. Like, put blinders on and don't look around. Don't look at how the rivers are getting dirty. Don't look at how the streets are a mess. Don't look at how, like, there's violence and rapes and insanity happening all over the place. Don't look at that. Pretend like it's not happening. Everything's fine here. Everything's great. Keep bringing more foreigners in. It'll all work itself out. And I guess I'm just weird. I just don't understand why Texas isn't being more manly and masculine and more don't mess with us. Why no one in Texas is like putting their foot down for real and saying, we don't do that here. This isn't happening here. Take that stuff to California. Take that mess with you over to some other Yankee state. We don't do that around here. No one messes with Texas. But I was there for 2 weeks kind of with my, like, looking around going like, they're messing with Texas. I feel like I'm like the Paul Revere, like yelling in the streets, like, hey, Texans, they're messing with you. You're being messed with. Your state is being messed with. Are you going to stop it? Are you going to do anything about it? And I feel like it was just all these like Texans being like, no, it's cool. It's all right. It's fine. Diversity, right? Yeah, we're cool. It'll all work itself out. I'll be dead in 10 years. Who cares? You know? Fuck it. Who cares? That phrase, pardon my language, I'm trying to be better at that, but it just is that phrase that should never be uttered ever again by anyone, especially Christian man. Fuck it. Who cares? Like, that is the opposite of you as a Christian man. That is the opposite of, hey, Christian man, go produce good fruit. That is the opposite. That's like, nah, I'm good. I'll just be fine without fruit. Nah, who cares? Whatever. Just let the fruit rot. Let the fruit spoil. Who cares about it? Yeah, so there's not fruit being produced? Maybe next year. It's just like a bad harvest. Whatever, we'll figure it out later. We'll pick ourselves up by the bootstraps. We'll get our cowboy boots on, put our cowboy hat on, and pretend to be big, strong men, keeping our state good and healthy and safe for ourselves, our families, our loved ones, and our future posterity, the future generations to come. I don't see that. I see a lot of people all hat, no cattle. I see a lot of guys wearing cowboy hats that aren't really acting like men. I see a lot of people putting costumes on that say, I'm a Christian, I'm righteous, I'm strong, I'm masculine. And then I look around at the state, like the state of Texas, and I'm like, it's not, no. You can put on the costume all you want, but there's not fruit being produced here. This place is being messed with. Nobody's stopping it. I had written down, they are taking, stealing, destroying, trashing, and just not helping. They're not improving or adding value to America. And it is hurting us all. It's hurting us, the people who were here first in America, and it's hurting them. The people that are coming to America and they're looting and they're pillaging and they're stealing and they're making the place messy, etc. Everything we've been talking about. Like, it's not loving to the people who have been here, who lived here, who've, like, their families have, like, shed blood, sweat, and tears over building this country into what it is, raising up the land from what it was to, like, a family farm, a generational family farm. Like, there's so much investment. There's so much that was, like, sacrificed and given up for this country. And it's not loving to those people. It's not loving to their ancestors to just hand it off to foreigners. And likewise, it's also not loving to just bring in these foreigners. Like, again, like a bunch of goofy goober white guys on the Memphis Grizzlies. They just don't belong here. Do you think those guys are having a fun time in Memphis? You know, I feel like they probably aren't very well liked, very well received, very cheered for. You know, I don't think there's probably a lot of people lining up to buy tickets to support their goofy goober white guy team. You know, it's not really loving to them. It's like they belong on a team that would actually support them and appreciate them and give them playing time, and where fans would actually cheer for them and they'd actually feel like they fit and they belong and they're in it for the long haul with this team, with this group of guys, not just like temporary players in place for a year or two while they figure out and draft new players, you know? like during a rebuild or whatever. But it just isn't loving to either side, and yet we're doing it. And yet we continue to do it, and yet it's going to continue to happen because no one's stopping it. No one's putting their foot down and saying no and stopping it, you know? And the big difference, everyone just always points to like, well, you're an immigrant. Well, the Europeans came here too. Well, everyone's an immigrant. And it's like, okay, sure. But like when the European immigrants came here, they built this country. Like they took a country that was empty and they built things. They built statues. They built lakes and canals and highways and trains. And they built ornate picnic structures for no reason, really, no good reason. Like we made the country. We took empty land where, yeah, there was natives hunting buffalo and stuff and moving their teepees around, being nomadic and stuff. We came, we built bridges, we built canals, we like dammed up rivers, provided energy, we built cities, we built civilization, we built one of the greatest empires in recorded human history. So yeah, a bunch of immigrants, quote unquote, a bunch of European settlers came here as immigrants, quote unquote. Okay, I'll give you that. But when we came here, we kissed the ground being thankful for the opportunity. We explored it. We charted uncharted lands. We tamed, the wilderness. We moved mountains. We moved rivers. We built this country. We forged America. So to just say that is like, to be like, oh yeah, that's the exact same thing as just all these Indians coming over here and scamming people. All these Somalis coming over here and just like ripping people off and stealing taxpayer money. To equivocate, to make that comparison is so evil. You're either very, very dumb and unaware of what's happening like now and what happened in the past, or you're just evil and you're like that deceptive and you're that much of a liar that you're going to act and pretend like those are the same things. Like your great grandparents who came off a boat from Eastern Russia or from Italy, like Sicily or from Ireland or something, came here with nothing in their pockets, was given nothing, was basically just thrown into a factory or a field and just told to like make something for themselves. And then they made something for themselves. They sacrificed and bled and sweat and tears were shed to make sure that their children had better lives than they did, that they could, get off a boat with pennies in their pocket. And by the time they die, they actually had land that they owned and a house they called their home and children that were going to inherit it. And then 2, 3, 4 generations later, we're just like, nah, well, that's the same exact thing as like Sanjay Patel coming over and like running a hotel that's dirty and gross. It's the same exact thing. It's the same exact thing in every way. Your European ancestors who came here and the Somali pirates who just 5 years ago were like robbing shipping containers on boats off the coast of Africa, the Horn of Africa. Same thing, same scenario. They're coming here, they're looting, they're scamming, they're stealing taxpayer money. They're just like your great grandparents. Now shut up and let them stay here. Now shut up and let them steal from you. Now shut up, sit down, and just let them be criminals. Let them tear your country apart. Let them loot and pillage your city. The cities and the land of the country that your ancestors built, sacrificed for, you're just going to hand it over and you're going to have like this dumb argument of like, it's just the same scenario. It's just the same thing. It's just not. Okay, cool. You can believe it. Have fun believing that out there, but I'm not falling for it. I'm not buying it. I'm good. I'm out. I'm out. We built civilization. We built houses, family dynasties. We tamed the land, moved mountains. Went to space, allegedly, supposedly. We conquered space, bro, supposedly, allegedly. And then they show up and it's like chaos, confusion, trash everywhere, violence, looting, raping, scams. It's like we are just not the same. And it's not even that big of a deal. It's like they just don't belong here with us. They can just stay over there. We can help them over there. If we want to help them, we can help them over there where they belong. The place where their family comes from, where their ancestors come from, the places where they share the same cultures and languages and religions and ways of life and philosophical views. Like they can stay there and we can help them there if we want to be helpful. But again, it's not loving to either side to bring them over here where they don't belong, where they don't fit in, where they don't appreciate it, and where they just make the place worse. They come here and they make the place they came to worse than they found it. Your European immigrant settlers came here and they made this place better than they found it. There's a difference, you know? So again, you're either really just too stupid to talk to about any kind of like meaningful conversation. If you bring that example up in all seriousness, you're either too dumb to talk to or you're too evil to talk to, because that's clearly an apples to oranges kind of thing, you know? And that's all we'll say about that. We'll move on to the next racist rant.